Japan set to allow up to 340,000 foreign workers over 5 years amid employee shortage.
Well, they essentially have to. They're not.
I mean, they've been a really racially homogenous society for a very
in
long
fact,
time.
a lot of the white supremacist crowd often points to Japan as an example of
they're keeping their culture.
This
pure.
is a pure culture. This is racial homogeny. This is cultural homogeny. This is good. And
I mean, it wouldn't be such a problem if the people in Japan would actually fuck and have babies, but they don't really do that at a very high rate.
Yeah, they're too busy jerking off to hentai, I guess. Fucking Hiroshima made their sperm count go down. I don't know. Shinzo, is it Abe?
Abe.
Shinzo Abe, the Japanese prime minister, was facing questions as it emerged the country is set to admit up to 340,000 foreign workers in a desperate bid to offset its declining workforce. Some of Mr. Abe's own supporters expressed concern that a wave of foreign workers could lead to a jump in crime and place too much strain on the social security system. Pretty similar to concerns any country has when looking at this issue. Mr. Abe announced plans to increase the number of workers from abroad, but did not give a figure. However, between 260,000 and 340,000 could arrive over 5 years from 2019.
Dude, you know what? I have the
reported.
solution. Weeaboos, dude.
Yeah, send the wees.
Send the wees, dude.
Yeah. Send over the weed.
Dude, the Weeaboo training initiative would be great. We would gather them all up, train them to be really responsible Japanese citizens. They'd love it. The weebs would love it, dude. And then we just ship them. And while we're doing that, we train them to do very Japanese jobs, Japanese style. Then we ship them all over there.
Awesome.
Dude, we
Get rid of the
win.
weebs.
Japan wins. Everybody fucking wins, dude.
That is a good
It
idea.
would break my
Everybody
heart
fucking
to send Ashley over, but for the good of the country, I
It's
understand.
got to be done, dude. Well, you know what's crazy about Japan is Japan has a really strong, I mean, even stronger, I would say, than here, really, a nationalistic element to it. Like, a lot of very conservative people in Japan, like, they want no foreigners in Japan, period. Yeah. I mean, like, tourists maybe or some shit like that might be all right, but no one could live there. So having potentially 340,000 foreigners come to Japan is going to be a huge political crisis.
It would be
for that
a
country.
dramatic shift in immigration policy for Japan. Mr. Abe plans to an amendment to immigration law, which would include a new visa for foreign workers with specified skills.
But you know what then happens? One of these foreign workers is going to commit a crime.
Yep.
And then it's going to be fucking a powder keg.
It could mean up to 47,000 arriving in 2019 if the amendment passes the Japanese Parliament next month. So this is still how to go through Parliament. This hasn't been.
Well, I mean,
decided.
obviously Abe is looking at it and saying like.
But they're saying
they need these Japanese corporations need more workers. That's clearly what the problem is.
Let's read about that. Next year, Japanese businesses are set to have 600,000 fewer workers than necessary.
That's insane.
Over the next 5 years, the shortage could reach more than 1.3 million, according to estimates.
So do you guys see this as an argument for multiculturalism? Because if you think about
I mean, I see this as an argument for how, at least in the case of this society, there's really not much of another choice.
There's a need.
Right.
Like, what else are you going to do? The only thing you could do other than that is put out the, like, hey, it's time to start fucking initiative because...
But we have this culture, the Japanese culture, I mean, it's changed and liberalized in a lot of ways, but there are certain drum beats in it, as I understand them, that have remained pretty solid all the way through, all the way back to the beginning.
Right.
They're very, very culturally driven. And what they're doing is they're opening their borders to a new culture that's going to interbreed with their culture and create something else.
Right.
If they allow it. And that's what these people are fighting against. They're fighting against this idea that these people with different cultural ideas are going to come into Japan, interbreed with our population, which is bound to happen. It's going to happen as soon as the boots hit the ground.
The biggest problem with immigration on this scale, to my mind, is not even so much the actual fact of the two cultures clashing or merging or whatever happens. The real problem is that this sort of thing always inflames the right wing of any country. Like, this is always becomes the pet issue.
But what's right? What's the correct way? Because in one way, I see their point. It's like we have our ways, and this is like saying it's death to that. It's death to our way of living, and our ancestors all lived this way. And it's like saying we're the generation that goes like, well, we're better off doing it this way. So I understand the trepidation.
You're also the generation where you don't have enough workers and no one's fucking and no one's breeding anymore.
I also see the other end of it, which is like these people are not only bringing a numbers solution to this 600,000 worker deficit. they're bringing a cultural solution to it as well.
Yeah, they
because
are.
these people are going to fuck like rabbits, and their children are going to fuck because they're going to come from people that fucked.
And at a certain point, they're going to be a sizable percent
So
of the
this
population.
whole like suppression of fucking thing that's happened as a natural extension of Japanese culture, nobody can deny that is an outcropping of their culture.
These are visas,
dude,
so I don't know how long these people are going to be allowed
the
to stay.
demand's not going to
and-
go anywhere.
But
Right.
what is
It's
the
going to
what-
happen.
They're going to need to stay because you're
What's
still
the
going to need the
protocol?
workers.
What's the protocol?
Yeah.
When these guys, these people or women or whatever it is, come over here, get knocked up with a Japanese baby, or impregnate a naturalized Japanese woman, what do you do? How do you kick? Because I know Japanese people value family. How do you say that child is better off without his father?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what they're going to be faced with. Deport this person away from his family, or
And it's-
give up part of their already aging population.
Well, that's why you
to
got
another culture.
That's why you got it. The Weeaboo solution really is the best because
Yeah.
those people
Give them a fresh crop of people that just want to be there.
and they want to be Japanese
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, they want it
I think I'm
desperately.
turning Japanese. I think I'm turning
Yeah, they-
Japanese.
Dude, 10
I really
years
think
working in a
so.
skilled field, Japanese citizenship.
They
dude.
want to fucking. They don't just want to go there for work.
They wanna be
They
there.
actually want to be Japanese and live by that culture
Yeah.
and shit. So that seems like the best way
Give
to
those
preserve it.
people what they want.
I mean, I started supporting the Weeaboo initiative somewhat facetiously, but now I think my
I
support
support
is
it.
turning
I support it
genuine.
genuinely, dude.
Yeah, dude, the Weeaboo training
A
initiative.
lot of Weeaboos are very accomplished people. They can do it.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of
Send 'em
Weeaboos
over.
are going to need extensive training so as to not immediately commit faux pas over there, because a lot of Weeaboos have a perception of Japanese
Right.
culture being a certain way.
They're going to need some.
Well, Paul, they arrive there and they have 6 weeks of
They
class.
think they know better than they actually
they have
do.
Weeaboo
I
instructional
say we
class.
don't even send them there yet. I say we create Little Japan here in America. We take Detroit and say, look, the auto industry ain't never coming back. That's moved on. Let's reinvigorate Detroit and make it Little
This
Japan.
plan is getting ever
Yes.
more complex.
Little Japan, right? And we send all the Weeaboos to Little Japan, where it's we make a perfect we bring Japanese specialists over to make a perfect approximation of a Japanese living and work environment. We create that, and we train
dude, they
the
go through like
weebs.
social training and shit. That's like, what should you do in this situation?
Exactly. We train the weebs, and then send them
It's
over to
Weeb
Japan
boot camp,
to save
dude.
Japan.
Weeb boot camp.
Because you know what? I know one thing about weebs that isn't apparently present in the Japanese culture. Weebs are horny and they fuck a lot. Or they would fuck a lot if they could get laid.
you go.
Well, there it is.
Japan.
Japan.
The
is safe.
solution to Japan's problem, the humble weeaboo.
Yep.
We all derided
I'm gonna
them.
get on the fucking phone with Abe.
We made fun of them.
But
we're
now
gonna
we see
Yep.
that
Dude,
they were
TJ,
for a greater purpose. It was all part of God's plan.
People watching, send this shit to Abe. Let him know we got a solution.
Yep.
He can even take credit for it.
We've got a crop of
We just want
horny
partial
new
credit.
Japanese citizens that will invigorate a little life and a little fertility into the Japanese people.
While respecting
So
your
that we will
indigenous
see
culture.
that number fall. Because I want Japan to continue being weird.